Folks, welcome back. It is UKSG Green 2024. Hope you're all having a lovely Sunday so far. It's an early morning. It's still dreary out in Glasgow. I don't think that's going to change. But what is going to change is that we have got a beautiful Rose showing us Viewtiful Joe. Rose, take it away.
Hello, my honour Rose. I'll obviously be speedrunning Viewtiful Joe. We're also just going to kick off right away the second I click on kids because I'm a child. So we'll kick off in 3, 2, 1, go!
Woo!
So Viewtiful Joe, very oldish at this point, pains me to say. Kind of beat 'em up style game made by Hideki Kamiya. At this time was obviously known for Devil May Cry 1. It's a very simplistic game, but gets pretty brutal at times. So we're starting off with a tutorial, just teaching you how to dodge stuff. You'll see the skull icons. That will indicate if the enemy is going to attack high or low, and you just dodge regardless of which way it's going. And you're going to see some slight movement tech at first. What we're going to be doing, instead of running, is we're going to be slide cancelling into uppercuts, just because it's slightly faster. You won't be seeing this for too long, but it does exist. And there's also some AI manipulation going on. If we crouch next to an enemy, it means if they go high, we automatically dodge the attack, and if they go low, we can immediately easily dodge it. So now we're coming up to our first actual tutorial boss fight against Captain Blue. A little wrong, but we'll take it. Okay, and now coming into, we now have the V-Watch. So we have the ability to now slow down time. Whenever we dodge, an enemy will be in a specific stun state, where if you slow down time and hit them, they'll be knocked away much further than usual and interact with stages and stuff. And now we're on to one of the most annoying things about the game is the slot machines. Simply because you need to catch them on good cycles and make sure you hit them obviously at the correct times, which we'll be using the slowdown mechanic for. We do need to do this one more time just to make sure we get enough money for the rest of the run. And that should all automatically pick up. And so right now we're on to the cowboy enemies, where as soon as they attempt to try and shoot, we're just going to slow down time immediately. And we're now going to have one of the first interactions we see of the enemies that interact with the stage. We're going to knock down that chandelier, which should have killed some of these, but it did not. So we knock this book over onto the switch. And here's where, first instance where things can go wrong. This enemy is directly in my face, stopping me from being able to go faster. Now we're going to deliberately take damage here just so we can hit this switch faster. And hopefully when we fall, we're going to fall to the left. We did not, definitely didn't. So we're just going to run over and hopefully dodge all these missiles as we make our way back over to the chandelier. And hopefully don't fall back down. Slightly off timing. So one thing I forgot to mention is, under slow, enemies will take significantly more damage. So that's what we're doing there. We're hitting the chandelier and then activating slow just so the enemies will die on impact, essentially. And now we're coming up to probably Hit this straight into the helicopter so that it takes massive damage. Then we're going to stop there. We're going to come up here so that we can hopefully line up for the second phase. Okay, we're going to get the enemies, that's fine. There we go. Send an enemy into it, kills it much faster. And now we've got rid of the ability. The main reason we slide is now gone, because we now unlock sliding, and we're going to buy some boomerangs as well. And you'll see exactly why we buy boomerangs later on, because they are an obscenely broken item. Slow down just so we can make sure we hit that switch, and we're going to start just sliding until we make contact with a barrel, and then we're going to over, and there's a second barrel. Okay, these barrels are okay, made it through. And we're going to slide on over until we reach the next Captain Blue fight. Just we walk over to the corner so that we're not in his way when he comes down in. We're going to abuse slow because slow is a broken mechanic, and here he's going to give us max speed, which is the direct opposite of slow, where our attacks will be much faster and we can then interact with stage interactions very differently. Right, here's basically an auto-scroller. There'll be a few cutscenes during it, but we're just going to hold max speed and run away from barrels that are chasing us. And sadly, these cutscenes are not skippable. And once we come in here, we're going to light all of these pillars. Hopefully don't run out of VFX meter. There we go. And then we're almost at the first boss fight.
Hey Iona, just go for it.
So we're going to rudely awaken Charles III. But it's okay. He's right back to sleep. And that is chapter 1 out of the way.
Let's get it on.
Chapter 2 is pretty straightforward as well. There's going to be some things that are a little concerning about it. There's going to be one point in the stage where we're going to hope a bus doesn't blow up, because if the bus blows up, it kind of ruins our point spending for the rest of the run. And then we're going to have our third Captain Blue fight here. And here we're going to get the zoom ability, which is the last VFX barrel we'll unlock. Made our way through the tutorial. A lot happens with zoom. There's basically an action depending on exactly where you are on the screen. Make sure we get through there. And one of the many fun things about the zoom is under max speed, if we do the pizza cutter, we're completely invincible to stage hazards. So stuff like lasers or fire will not harm us in the slightest, which we will use to our advantage quite a lot if we're ever scaling. This one can get quite annoying. Oh, slightly off. And now that we have zoom and slow, we're going to see all of these enemies are going to basically immediately evaporate just because of the sheer strength of how slow plus zoom works. If we can get in line. There we go. And now we're at the point that can make and break a run. We're going to hope this boss makes the jump and doesn't blow up when it hits the other side. Okay, it made it. Cool. So because that boss made it, we now get to stock up on a lot of items. You'll see them next to my life counter down the bottom. And that essentially stocks us for the entire game, rather than having to spend a significant amount of points on any kind of upgrades or boomerangs and stuff that we need. So now we're into the back half of Chapter 2, where we're inside the hotel.
As you're making your way into this part, have I got time for a donation?
Go for it.
We have had a $34 donation from TB Sliver saying, as promised, for 12 death warps and 2 unplanned, and 2 unplanned during Turnip Boys. So those have been split up. $8 towards the Pixel Remaster soundtrack, $7 to the OG soundtrack, so only $1 difference between those two, and another $19 going towards the Titan Thrice. I thought it was Titan Vice. Anyway, that is for GTA 3 happening later on in the day. A reminder that we're almost at 2,500 folks. Just that extra 100 left. That'd be exciting to see in this run. It'd be exciting to see, maybe on the next run, but yeah, it's up on you.
Right now, we are trying to make our way through the hotel. To get past through here, we need to defeat enough enemies to make the bookcase move out. And we're just going to be using this against nearly enough any enemy in the game. We'll just be looking at this. It's just a hilariously broken mechanic. For this one, you're supposed to be on a time limit because this barrel is slowly moving towards you. The time limit might as well not be there. never really been a threat, even if you're playing casually, I think. Get the key there, and we're just going to move through more elevators.
Just go for it!
So instead of using the James bombs, we're going to be using our own bombs for some of these doors, just because it's much easier to set up. Aside from this one, for some reason, so we're just going to deal with him for now. That wasn't high enough. Should we? Nope, okay. Okay, we are having slight problems with this. Should be. Just going to clear it out a bit, try and help not die here. There we go. Now we've got another gambling machine spawning in. And this, if I believe right, yep, should be the last elevator before we make our way to the boss fight.
Move on!
Which, if you thought Charles was a very engaging boss fight, you'll love this one. Ah, slightly off. So assuming nothing goes wrong here, welcome to the boss fight. Yep, as I mentioned earlier, boomerangs are incredibly broken as an item. Essentially just being able to loop some boss fights die immediately because of them. But now, because this is an old Kamiya game, we're now stuck in an auto-scroller for the next 3 minutes. So, if Happy has anything to say, now would be a perfect time.
Fab. Well, we've already been talking about. Well, let's bring it back a little bit, folks. Just a reminder that for UKSG Green and for most of the UKSG events, if you've watched in the past, we are raising money for Crisis. They are a charity supporting people out of homelessness for good. They achieve this through education, training, and support with housing, employment, and health. 90% of your donations will go towards supporting Crisis, and 10% will go towards UKSG's future events. Here's a little more about what they do in their own words. One thing that they operate is 9 skylights in Birmingham, Brent, Croydon, Edinburgh, London, Merseyside, Newcastle, Oxford, and South Wales. At their skylights, they provide practical one-to-one support to prevent and end homelessness by taking a housing-led approach, support access to benefits, healthcare services, and employment opportunities. Main aim is to relieve the huge pressure of homelessness by helping people find safe and affordable homes as quickly as possible. Anyone who contacts their services gets a response from the engagement and assessment team based at the relevant skylight. So if Crisis is best placed to help, the member will be allocated a crisis lead worker who they'll have a constant relationship with and will support the member out of homelessness for good. They also work with the landlords to secure a supply of affordable homes for their members. That's just one of the small parts of what they do to help out around the UK, which is great. We love them for that. So just know that all of your donations, as well as the funny incentives and bid wars that we've got going at the moment, they of course are most importantly going towards charity. A reminder that our bid wars and incentives that we do have open, soundtrack for Final Fantasy 1, we currently only $1 difference between the two there, so if you have a particular one that you want to see, then you want to be getting your donations in for that. And then last incentive is GTA 3 later on in the day. Upgrade to Titan Thrice, apparently, is what it's called now. And we're almost halfway there. We've got to make 1,000 to get there. But yeah. Are we enjoying this run? Crowd, are we enjoying this run? They're enjoying this run. Aina, are you enjoying this run?
It's going better than I thought, so yeah.
There we go. That's what we like to hear.
So right now we're coming towards the end of the auto-scroller.
I love Sky Chase.
It's great.
Great. Actually, that looked more exciting than Sky Chase.
Only very slightly. You do have to interact with the stage, sadly.
Yeah, there's only so much you can polish in auto-scroller, really, isn't it?
So we've had the dedicated auto-scroller, now we're in the dedicated underwater stage. Because, of course, a game has to have an underwater stage, right? So we're going to see, we're going to be moving painfully slowly if we're not using any sort of tech. So we're going to pick up a remote control here. What this is going to do is it's going to activate this platform that we're going to have to control so that it can come hit a switch for us. These run rounds hit these switches fine. In this room, they're going to be flying everything and the kitchen sink at us to try and stop us from getting these switches. That's not enough. right here, we're going to get probably the most annoying slot machine in the game. Simply because of how high up it is and how drastically try to slow it down so that we hit a cycle we like and also be able to hit the machine. Oh, that's wrong. Ah, okay. Ah, was... Really shouldn't be that difficult, don't worry about it. So now we're going to make all the way back. There's going to be... the water's going to evacuate, thankfully, so we're going to move a bit faster. But we're also going to get everything thrown at us again. There's even going to be bombs on the ground this time. I need to try and conserve some of this VFX meter. That should be it. And then from here, we're then into the third boss fight of the game. Fortunately for this one, we don't actually abuse boomerangs, we abuse this instead. Never mind, I lied. So that is chapter 3 out of the way. Chapter 4, if I remember right, is the only chapter we're going to get that actually has a step. And it's a step you're going to see, and you're probably not even going to think it's a step. But it does actually step a significant portion of the chapter. So right there, we're just going to buy the turbocharger so that our VFX recharges much faster than it should be doing. Yep, so right now, just going to make our way through here. That's fine. So right now what the game wants us to do is go all the way around the ship to try and stop these missiles. What we're going to do is we're just going to damage boost our way through the missiles. We're now at the end of the stage, simply because we jumped over a missile. Go through, make sure we stop these so we don't take damage like that. And we're going to fall right into the boss fight already. Now, who was the boss fight for this one? Strangely, it's Joe. I don't remember the lore reason for this, but yes, there's just another Joe. I'm just gonna... okay, that's a bit dangerous. Just gonna make sure we follow him through the stage, so we don't really lose track of him. And that, there we go. So that's the boss fight done. Annoyingly, that's not the stage, however, because now we need to evacuate the ship. lasers can get a little annoying at times depending on the cycle you're on. That's fine, you can take that damage. And that is his cleared chapter.
Let's get it on!
Chapter 4, we're actually going to get introduced, or Chapter 5, we're going to get introduced to some slightly annoying enemies like this tank. If anything would like to happen here, that'd be great. Okay. So for the tank, the only way you can really damage them is sending enemies into it with slow, or any of the rockets it shoots, sending them back at it. And we're also going to get an upgrade of the plane. We've been fighting quite a lot. And tool down. Ah, okay. Of course the enemy picks it up. So here, we're going to be doing a lot of damage boosting here, and praying we don't die. Ah, okay.
Cut! Ready? Action!
Thankfully we don't lose too much time from that death. So we have, once again, another gambling machine. However, this one we're actually not going to interact with.
But the audience want gambling, Iona.
It's too bad.
Oh.
We're skipping the gambling this time.
To be fair, after the last one, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
This section is pretty lengthy. It's mostly just mob fight. So if there's anything to read now would be a good time as well. should be okay. And one more plane. Okay, we missed. That's fine. So here we're now on a runaway train because of course we are. I'm just gonna play this a little safe and grab some extra life. Oh, great.
Move on.
Goal here is to make sure we find the keys to try and stop the train and make our way through. In the first room, the key is going to be behind the last enemy that spawns. Second room, kind of just speed through it. And this room is going to be behind this enemy. Going to deal with these two, and then we're only stand on our switch for a little bit just to completely stop the train. Oh, that can happen. I wasn't prepared for that yet.
Ready? Action!
Hopefully this time doesn't go land. Can we play extra safe? There we go. Stand on this switch for a bit. Till we make it to the boss fight.
The emergency brakes have been activated. Repeat, the emergency brakes have been activated. Thank goodness.
Move on!
Oh, that was ridiculously good RNG for no reason. I don't understand what happened there. That boss fight usually takes at least a few more minutes, just with everything he does. But for some reason I got Steiner every time. If that had happened in any other run, I would have been happy. Any other run. So we're now on to the boss rush of the game. So we're going to play this extremely safe and take a take two and 2 extra lives.
Let's get it on!
Take two essentially means that if we die at any point, we'll just immediately get back up. Okay, fell down, that's... we can work with it. And that is Charles III dead once again. Simply make it a little awkward. Okay, thankfully it stayed still long enough. Yep, okay. So because of that take two, we're just going to die there and then immediately get back up, so thank God we got that. This fight's giving me a lot more trouble than it usually does.
Nice. As we make our way to the next one, we've got time for a quick donation.
Time to go for it.
We got $10 from Lumi Laura saying, I love UKSG. I think UKSG quite likes Lumi Laura as well. By the sounds of things. It's alright. Good people, I think. Folks, a reminder that your donations can go towards incentives and bid wars as well. We have got one of each open. We're going to be having a Final Fantasy run later on. That is a choice between the soundtracks that we're going to hear, and then GTA 3, well, I think after, at some point, where we have the option of upgrading to Titaned Thrice. Don't know what that entails. I'm sure somebody... Actually, in fact, it says here, you've seen Joshima's Titaned Rias, but let's share the suffering, apparently. So it's probably harder, is my thoughts. But yes, and do stick around, because Laura's going to be running at the end of the day. That is going to be very fun.
So I kind of wanted to try and save the take two for this fight, but we don't have it. So hopefully nothing terribly bad happens here. Because now we have Fire Leo.
I don't know, would you eat the Viewtiful Joe burger?
Oh, absolutely.
It does look good. I haven't had much breakfast, so every time I see it, I'm like, ooh, I could go for that.
So our goal for this fight is, first of all, survive. Second of all, once we manage to damage Fire Leo, he will start spinning rapidly. So we're going to use slow to our advantage just so we can dodge the hits. And when we do dodge the fifth hit, he should... Okay, we're going to go on this side. Okay. He should stop spinning and get dizzy, and then we're free to damage him for that. So we are playing this fight a little safe, just out of fear. Okay. So now we're coming into the last chapter of the game. I think should be stopped, okay. Just in case. I'm going to buy some bombs just in case, because we need a lot of those. I guess I'll buy some boomerangs as well.
Get it on! Just go for it!
This first room here, we need to get high enough to hit these switches. There are some platforms that help us get higher, but can also get in the way, which is a little annoying, but hopefully that doesn't happen. There we go, perfect. I would only come through to probably the most annoying enemy in the game is these tanks, because they are just ridiculously different. Kill. this limits. There's one, and there's another one over this side. That's too high up. There we go. And this room is interesting because now we're going to get introduced to some fire Leo clones. Thankfully not nearly as hard to beat as the actual fire Leo.
Move on!
So right here we're just on an auto-scrolling bridge, just trying to get a key for later on. And then we get these enemies again, because everyone loves these enemies. To find the last candle machine of the game. Anyway, wait this out. Now for this section. What you're going to see is me rapidly kick a bomb here. This is going to greatly increase the rate at which we hit the rockets into these ships in the background that you can see. Sometimes the wall decides to eat the bomb as well, which is never good. We're burning low on health a little bit, so be careful with that. Okay.
Cut, cut.
Gonna be trying
Ready?
to really find out.
Action.
Well, whilst the run is still hot, we had a $10 donation come in from Big the Dave saying, "Is this Fortnite? That's a lot of V-Bucks." That is the exact reaction that I was hoping for. Thank you, Iona. That is all he deserves.
So that section out of the way. On to yet another bridge section. Oh, this is only got annoying. I have also noticed I am on my last life, so this is going to get extremely difficult, but we are nearing the end of the game, thankfully. This, we have enemies to deal with. There's quite a few more. After that, we're on to the final boss. one more room to clear. And now we're going to be loading into the final boss fights.
Move on!
Pay no attention to the fact we're suddenly in a mech. Don't worry about it. Wait for him to spawn in, and then we're going to do the good old classic. Well, he does break out eventually, don't worry. I wish I could say that was time, but as you've probably already known, there's another phase.
Just go for it!
Time will be coming up the second this last hit is dealt. And time. I mean, it was a run. It was. Yeah, I'm going to keep it brief. I think I'm just going to pass it over immediately, which is I know we're struggling with time a little bit.
I would not do too bad. If you do want to have got any shout outs.
I will pass it over.
So it's fair to say it's Drover now.
Yes.
20 years ago,
I will get out. I am very thankful. Well done, Iona. That was a very good run. I had a lot of love in the chat and a lot of love from around here. So yeah, we are going to be passing on. We're going to be having Mega Man next, I believe, and I'm going to be heading off for a bit. So we're going to be handing over. I think Nashlights is going to be taking over hosting next. There you go. He's in the back. He's enjoying it. And yeah, folks, we've still got the rest of the day to come. So please do stay tuned. UKSG Green 2024.